So once again, Deshaun Watson has some more legal issues arising. He had a sexual assault case when he was messing around with a lot of masseuses. He ended up settling those legal issues not too long ago. But he once again has another lawsuit that's been filed against him, and this is stemming from a completely different situation. It's similar to the lawsuits he had with the masseuses, but it kind of comes from something that isn't pertaining to that. And the Cleveland Browns, the NFL, they aren't about to punish him yet. They're about to let the legal process do its thing. But not only does Deshaun have another lawsuit that he's going up against, but allegedly he has a burner account. So let me introduce you guys to this Leroy Bickerstaff dude, aka Deshaun Watson's burner. Now, it's not 100% confirmed if this is indeed Deshaun Watson, but I mean, let's be honest. Who is dedicating any time out of their personal life to defend Deshaun Watson? He's a crappy person and he's a crappy quarterback too. So, I mean, you just got to be a dedicated fan of Deshaun Watson to just be going to war with critics of him on X. So you got this first post by Leroy Bickerstaff that says, if Foe had a tackle like Trent Williams, he'll be able to show his greatness. Foe can't succeed when he got no chance back there. That's funny because Joe Flacco last year behind this same offensive line took the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs last season. But let's continue. When we go to the replies, when he's responding to the critics, you got this post by Cleveland One and HQ that says, love seeing all the fake Browns fans already write this team off. We're going to be just fine with the 100 emoji. Deshaun Watson, Leroy Bickerstaff replies, someone gets it. One game ain't nothing. Just wait till the O-line and the play call stop holding back Foe from his greatness. Then he responds to another tweet. 10 penalties on the offense alone yesterday. 1 ineligible downfield offensive lineman on the RPO, 2 false starts, 2 holding calls, 2 illegal shifts, 3 illegal formations. Our guy Deshaun says, yup, but we gonna come on here and blame Foe when it's the offense as a whole. Give Foe no chance at success when he's backed up like this every time. And then he clapped back at our guy, Dan Orlovsky. Dan Orlovsky says, the quarterback is a problem in Cleveland. I would be thinking long and hard about Jameis Winston and moving him to be my starting quarterback. I agree with this, Dan Orlovsky, 110%. Who wouldn't after how bad Deshaun Watson played against the Cowboys on Sunday? But our guy Leroy Bickerstaff comes to DW Force defense. He says, come on, man. There's more than life than football. People go through shit all the time off the field, but after one game, we gonna let a dude that ran through the back of the end zone tell us 4 is not the answer? Come on, hey, I'm gonna be honest. He got him with that one. That was a pretty good one. I mean, Dan Orlovsky, despite playing in the NFL, how credible is he when it comes to giving analysis when he ran in the back of the end zone? I mean, that's pretty embarrassing. He's the last one who should be criticizing Foe, right? Our guy Jerome Ford called Deshaun Watson a warrior for how he looked against the Cowboys. And, of course, our guy Leroy says, Foe got the respect of his teammates, and that's all that matters. Nobody cares what the fools on this app got to say about a man they don't know. That's a little bit hypocritical, ain't it? Because this Leroy Bickerstaff, aka Deshaun Watson, cares so much about what these fools on X got to say to the point where he has to create a burner account to defend himself. And then there's another tweet he responded to about Jerome Ford saying the same thing. It was an extended quote. Jerome Ford said, Deshaun Watson's leadership in the huddle, He was a warrior, hand bleeding, even when we're down. Just seeing him work, seeing him fight for those extra yards, it just shows you what kind of guy he is. Does it really? Because, I mean, stemming from all these lawsuits that Deshaun's dealing with, it doesn't seem like he's that great of a guy. But our guy Leroy, he says guys in the locker room got Forrest back all day long. It's y'all that never played the sport, that don't know fool like that, coming on him and blaming for not succeeding in an impossible situation. Are you sure about this, Leroy Bickerstaff? Because for this to be an impossible situation, Joe Flacco was doing miracles with it last season. This is a perfect ball that was dropped. Y'all got to stop this madness. Of course, he says, and we still gonna sit here and act like Forrest still don't got it. Pressured on damn near every drive back, and Forrest still standing in there and delivering dots in the fourth. If that ain't hard, I don't know what it is. Listen, this is obviously Deshaun Watson. Okay, and it's not 100% confirmed that it is him, but I'm pretty confident that it is, because who is taking this much time out of their day to defend the dude that has all these legal issues going on for sexual misconduct? And I'm not saying that he's guilty of these things, but it's a numbers game. You feel me? You don't get all these lawsuits against you without being some kind of guilty. You feel me? It's just a numbers game. Not saying that he's guilty, but I'm just saying, when you got like 25 sexual assault cases against you, I do think that at least 3 or 4 of them have some merit to him. He was involved in doing some kind of wrongdoing. And our guy, Stephen A. Smith, says, I'm not saying they're a horrible team, but the Browns might have a horrible quarterback. And of course, Leroy claps back at Deshaun Watson's defense, saying, at Stephen A. Smith never played a sport in his life, but always wanted to talk like he one of the ones, always saying whatever would get clicks instead of speaking the facts. What are the facts? I mean, Deshaun Watson played like garbage. Those are the facts to me. And then this is the last one. Halftime. The Cleveland Browns post the halftime score. Dallas up 20-3. And of course, somebody had to say, all right, Deshaun, get your you-know-what off Twitter and get in the film room, or does Newsom have a table at Barley tonight? Don't know what he was trying to say with that tweet, but he claps back Leroy and says, you don't know me, fool. Go make a frozen meal or something. Look, man, I hope this ain't Deshaun Watson, because he's going outside right now. You got all these lawsuits against you coming out, and instead of worrying about them, you're worrying about trying to defend yourself from critics on X. The Cleveland Browns had one of the best offensive lines in the NFL last year, despite all the injuries that they dealt with, due to how good their offensive line coach at the time, Bill Callahan, was. He's now with the Tennessee Titans. So, of course, the old line was going to regress just a little bit. But a lot of those sacks Deshaun Watson took were on him because he was holding the ball too long. He was trying to make things happen when he doesn't have the athletic ability like what he used to have in Houston to make guys miss. And at this point, Cleveland seriously needs to consider benching him in favor of Jameis Winston. Jameis gives the Browns a better shot at being a playoff team this year than what Deshaun Watson does. He's been there for a while. They completely got rid of last year's coaching staff to appease him and get the most out of him. But he just isn't what he used to be. And you got to judge people for who they are and not what they used to be. What Deshaun used to be was the elite quarterback. What he is now is one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the NFL. When the Browns made the decision to move on from Baker Mayfield and try to find an upgrade, there was nothing wrong with that. I understand that. If you want to be able to be a Super Bowl contender consistently, you got to have high-level quarterback play. And even though Baker is doing his thing with the Buccaneers, he's still not a championship caliber quarterback. So it made sense for the Browns to try to find the upgrade. The only problem is, they took a huge swing trading for Deshaun Watson, and it turns out to be a huge miss with how bad this dude is and all the off the field shit that he's involved in. And with this burner page, I just laugh at it because it reminds me of when Kevin Durant had a burner page and he got called out for it. He got caught, and now he doesn't have it anymore. He just defends himself on his personal page. If you're Deshaun, everybody knows this is most likely you, so you might as well just defend yourself on your own personal page. Nobody's going to get mad at you for defending yourself. You're a human. Just because you're a football player doesn't mean that you don't have feelings too. You got a right to defend yourself. If you're going to defend yourself, you might as well do it on your main page. Why do it on the burner page? When everybody already knows that it's you, the secret's out, you might as well go ahead and start clapping back on your main page. Leroy Bickerstaff, yeah, this is definitely a real person, not named Deshaun Watson. This just sounds like a fake page. You feel me? It's like Leroy Bickerstaff. Is there even a Leroy Bickerstaff that exists in real life? The chances of that name being real gotta be 1 out of a million. But Deshaun Watson, he has legal troubles going on again, facing another sexual assault lawsuit, and he gets caught up with having a burner page. The hits just keep coming for foe.